Hey, I got a question for y'all to debate over.
Sure.
Okay.
Good luck.
I don't know if it'll show up in the light or not.
Ooh, that's
Jim,
party.
my goodness.
Well, it has the potential to
Spotlight
be
you.
pretty, but right now it's ugly, and that's the part that you probably can't see. Anyways, so I used spray on sanding sealer death, and then I was on my second coat of lacquer when I realized it was drying all blotchy. Yeah, it's not showing up on the camera very good, but at any rate,
No,
it
it's
was really
showing up.
rotten wood. And so it soaked in quicker in other areas, I suppose, than other spots. So now it's all blotchy. So,
Yeah.
do you recommend just sand it all down and start from scratch? Throw more
I did.
sanding sealer on it? Dunk it in lacquer? Like, what do we think?
All the layers you got on it already is essentially a sanding sealer anyhow. So I'd sand it all
Yeah,
down and start over.
sand it. That's what I was thinking. It's not what I wanted to hear, but it was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Is it
That's a
only
good
in the
looking piece
center?
of wood.
Is it only in the center, Doug, or you're going to sand the whole top?
It happened all over the place. It's the worst down here, but it's all around the edges
Yeah, you can
too.
see
It
it.
happened on the backside. And so the wood itself, when I cut this tree down, part of the tree was dead, part was still alive. Then it sat, in my yard for close to a year or whatever. And so I finally started messing with it. And I think it was just the portion of wood that I turned into a bowl. Some of it was alive, some of it was long since dead. And so I think it was just drier in certain areas. I think that's what happened anyway.
What kind of wood you say that was?
I don't quote me on it, but I think it's black willow. And I came up with that based on the leaves that were still on the tree. And I was researching, trees in Arizona and then northern Arizona, and it's a very common tree. I just didn't know what the names of it were. I actually have two of them in my yard, and
Really?
but they were here when I moved in, so I didn't know for sure. But I'm pretty certain, based on what I found online, they're black willows.
Pretty piece of wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lacquer's the only finish that dissolves the coats below it. And if you've got one area that's real absorbent, you cannot fill it with lacquer. Sand it down and give it a coat of shellac first. You got to have a base that's solid,
Okay.
because lacquer will dissolve the coats below it and keep soaking in. So you've got to sand it off, give it a coat of shellac or a couple coats, and then do whatever you want after that.
Okay.
Thanks, Jim. I've got a couple of odd pieces of wood that are doing the same thing.
I learned the hard way, believe me. And
So you
That's
don't
good.
recommend I go through 5 more cans of lacquer before I accept what you said?
you can go through 25 more cans. You're going to be in the same boat you are now.
Have the same result.